And now, aviation weather around Alaska. Here's your aviation weather if you have a flight planned early in the week, Monday or on Tuesday. We've had one area of low pressure work its way northeastward and weaken, but with it the remnants of the front continue to work their way northeastward on Monday morning. Across the western Gulf, that moisture spreading inland as well. We do expect IFR conditions along the eastern Kenai down toward the entrance of Cook Inlet. There'll be some areas of moderate to locally heavier rain where the terrain enhances it due to the brisk east-southeast flow. Also some stronger winds along the coast there, especially the north-central Gulf Coast. There could be some winds near gale force as a result of this frontal boundary lifting north and eastward. And then back to the west, widespread area of IFR out over the central and lower Bering Sea, including the Aleutian chain. Across the east-central interior, there still could be some ongoing isolated thunderstorms on Monday morning, and as we go into Monday afternoon, well, the daytime heating, there'll be some temperatures here around the Yukon Flats, Alcan border down toward Eagle and Northway that could be around or above 80 degrees, and that instability will help trigger cumulus buildup, some scattered showers, and a few thunderstorms. Also, isolated storms could be northwest of the Alaska Range up through the upper Kuskokwim Basin and also further west as you get out toward say areas just south of the Brooks Range and north of the Yukon River. For Tuesday morning, IFR conditions expected along northeastern Gulf to the outer coast of the Panhandle. MVFR conditions along and south of the Alaska Range. IFR extending off of the Arctic coast all the way down through the Bering Strait, through the heart there of the Bering Sea, across the central, eastern Aleutians, and especially on the Pacific side of the Alaska Peninsula. And for Tuesday afternoon, there will be that moisture with the old frontal boundary continuing to lift northeastward and across areas of the interior. We can still see some scattered showers pop up with a few thunderstorms as a result of the daytime heating. Back up here along the Arctic Ocean, Bering Strait, down into areas of the Bering Sea, especially St. Lawrence, down to St. Matthew, St. Paul, IFR conditions are expected, as well as on the North Pacific side of the Alaska Peninsula, once again with widespread MVFR conditions out over the Gulf. Anitukvik Pass on Monday, we'll see VFR conditions, but some cumulus buildups afternoon and evening and an isolated thunderstorm in vicinity. Same thing, Atigun Pass, we expect VFR conditions to prevail on Monday, but again, there could be some cumulus buildups in the afternoon and evening with scattered showers and perhaps an isolated thunderstorm in vicinity of the pass. Lake Clark and Merrill, generally MVFR conditions are expected on Monday. There will be some areas of rain and showers lifting up through the region, so some lower ceilings and reduced visibilities. Rainy Pass, there could be a thunderstorm after you cross the Alaska Range and head toward the Kuskokwim River out that way. Otherwise, MVFR conditions. Windy Pass, we'll see VFR conditions become MVFR as that moisture lifts further north and east. Isabel, same thing, VFR becoming MVFR on Monday. Mentasta Pass may be able to hold on to VFR conditions throughout the day on Monday. As we drop further south and west, Tanita Pass, VFR trying to become MVFR. South of the pass, generally MVFR conditions will prevail, especially as you get down toward Portage. We expect MVFR conditions, and there will also be areas of rain, light fog, and at least a bit lower ceilings. Chilkoot and White will start out Monday morning, MVFR giving way to VFR later in the morning and for the afternoon. Freezing levels aloft are highest associated with a warm dome of high pressure, the ridge of high pressure here back out toward the Yukon, Northwest Territory. Bumps freezing levels aloft above 10,000 feet. As we go southwestward, there is a pool of cooler air aloft where freezing levels are below 6,000 feet here over the Alaska Peninsula. That's kind of the region where we've had this low pressure system with the front that is lifting northeastward and weakening. And then back behind me further to the west, freezing levels aloft rise back up above 12,000 to near 14,000 feet once you get southwest of the central and western Aleutians. Greatest potential for some moderate icing on Monday. There'll be some pockets in the southwest, west side of Lake Iliamna, down to around the southern Kenai, perhaps outside there of Yakutat, Also, perhaps a pocket or two up there north of the Yukon River, south of the Brooks Range in the central interior. And then with the next low pressure system front, we could see some moderate icing above 10,000 feet here in the lower central Bering Sea into the eastern Aleutians. Winds aloft at 30,000 feet to jet stream level, we find winds across the mainland, broad area of southerly winds in excess of 75 to around 90 knots, especially west arm of the Alaska Range. And then the circulation coming around low pressure trough, we expect winds as high as 100, 105 knots there over the central portions of the Alaska Peninsula, spilling out into the North Pacific and just south of the Gulf. At 700 millibars, 9,000 feet, broad area of winds in the, say, 30 to 40 knot range, and perhaps as high as 45 knots up toward the Talkeetna Mountains, Copper River Basin from the south. And then another low circulation back here toward the central western Aleutians with some winds south of the eastern Aleutians upwards of 45 to 50 knots. And then Monday, we take a look at winds at 3,000 feet. We have that stronger low circulation back toward the western half of the Aleutians. On the north side of it, winds 45 to 50 knots. South of the central and eastern Aleutians, we have southwesterly to west winds upwards to 60 knots. So a bit more turbulence there, and we expect turbulence to be in place along areas of the northwestern Gulf, including the Kenai Peninsula, Prince William Sound, surface to 6,000 feet. Also, areas of the Alaska Range down toward Lake Iliamna and extending a bit into the southwest interior, surface to 6,000 feet as well. And then an area of moderate turbulence that extends out across the Aleutian chain, generally from the surface to 3,000 feet throughout the day Monday.